Hello YouTube, Vlogging Experience here, and this week my video is talking about a possible resolution of the Islam Paradox by the Amazing Atheist. I do recommend checking the video out. I will leave a link in the description. Now TJ presents it as a bit of a false dichotomy. Do we either embrace the regressive left side of the horseshoe and just let in all the Muslims without vetting them first? Or do we embrace the far right side of the horseshoe and say, freedom of religion does not apply to Islam, and ban all Muslims from entering the US, which will be used to racially discriminate against Arabic people and Arabic men in particular, as it is harder to distinguish between a Muslim man and a non-Muslim man who's Arabic than it is to distinguish between a Muslim woman and a non-Muslim woman who's also Arabic. Anybody who is wondering what I am talking about with horseshoe theory and bashing Muslims, I have a video linked up in the description about horseshoe theory and a playlist of lots of videos of extreme far right-wing Christianists making bigoted statements against Muslims as people, not attacking the ideology, but attacking the people. Now on to this quote from TJ.
So I feel like we're in this position now where we have to choose between two disgusting, intolerable, hideous, evil choices.
I personally think that TJ has presented it as a false dichotomy, as I've mentioned earlier. It is a false dichotomy because TJ is only presenting two different possibilities to try and resolve this paradox. Either the social justice side or the far right side. And you know what? I think TJ's gone off the deep end here, at least a bit. So what is my solution to the Islam paradox? It's actually pretty complex, but then again, it's going to have to be if we are to stand a chance of sorting this out. Firstly, keep the vetting process we have in the US, and both Europe and Australia should be adopting a vetting process that is similar to the US one as well. How rigorous is the vetting process? Well, I will leave a link in the description to a Vox article going into deep detail about the thorough vetting process that refugees have to go through to have any chance of getting into the US. Also, spread them out as much as you can so they don't form little ghettos in the US and there's a greater chance of integration into the community. Second, deporting people who commit crimes. Treat the Muslim refugees like you would other refugees and immigrants from other countries. Thirdly, and I'm going to be honest here, I don't know if I'm okay with this entirely, but ban funding of all religious institutions from international sources. When you do that, all of the Saudi Arabian funded mosques will shut down fairly quickly. Saudi Arabia is the #1 exporter of Wahhabism in the world. They all but did 9/11 and they arm Al-Qaeda and their affiliates in Syria and Iraq and other countries. They're massacring civilians in Yemen, seemingly trying to wipe the country off the map. If we stop arming countries like Saudi Arabia and moderate groups that then give their weapons up to the extremists, then that would go a long way to help to fix the situation. If we never went into Iraq, then ISIS wouldn't even exist today, and Al-Qaeda, the Taliban and other jihadist groups wouldn't be as powerful as they are. Remember, minimum 200,000 civilians died in Iraq in 8 years. It took Islamic terrorism 15 years to hit that number. Fourthly, de-radicalization programs. Now, as an example of somebody who was an Islamist and now isn't, I'm going to probably butcher his name, Majid Nawaz, Sam Harris's Muslim buddy. De-radicalize the radicalized and do the best you can to stop further radicalization, which sort of links back to number 3 and leads on to 5 and 6. Number 5 is the police need to restore faith with the Muslims in the US. Looking at places across Europe, multiple terrorist attacks have been stopped because the Muslims trust the police to tell them when somebody is planning to carry out an attack. This is not the case in the US, and if the relationship between the police and the Muslim community is repaired, more terror incidents can be stopped. And number 6, get the fuck out of the Middle East. Don't just pull the troops back, but stop arming everybody in the conflict. All that does is cause more bloodshed and create more terrorists. It makes the world less safe, not more safe. Why is it that when surveys are done about asking about what is the greatest threat to world peace, it shouldn't be a surprise that the US comes out at number 1 in every single survey. I think taking these steps will help solve the Islam paradox. It's not perfect, but it's pretty thorough, and I reckon it will go a long way. So that is my video for this week. I hope you found it interesting. Please rate, comment, share and subscribe, and have a great day everyone, and check out the links in the description.